Hi everybody, this is Syed over here, MD of Spotlight GB, who used to work in MotorServ before. Well, I will be hosting today. It's not Cam anymore, so Cam will be on the guest side today, and we'll be asking him all these spicy questions which you're interested in knowing, especially about MotorServ, all his businesses, and what he's doing now. So stay tuned. Well, let's go and find where Cam is. Hello everybody, welcome back to MotorServ TV. Another episode with a very special guest. Myself, Syed, and I'm a managing director of Spotlight GB. I've worked with MotorServ for 3 years, or I think slightly more than that. Well, I got a very amazing guest over here who I'll be interviewing. You'll be very interested to know who that person is. There you go. Welcome, Cam.
How you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
Right, so Cam, this is the very first time you will be interviewed.
Yeah,
Right.
on this channel,
So you are on the other side of the table now.
in the spotlight.
So I will be asking you some very straightforward questions, right?
Okay, cool.
We'll try to make it like more interesting for the audience as well.
Okay.
First of all, we all know who you are. Multi-award winning businessman.
Yeah.
You've been taking probably awards from all over Birmingham. So now, this is your time to let us know a bit more about yourself. We know you do MotorServ.
Yeah.
I mean, you did MotorServ in the past. You have cemeteries. You have a property portfolio. These are the things I know and the audience know. Is there anything else you do apart from these?
Well, I think you've encapsulated quite well, but obviously there is other projects and there's other stuff that's happened in the past and that's happening now. So we can go into all that. Not a
Okay.
problem.
Okay. So I'll touch base step by step to everything. So let's first of all talk about the hottest topic,
Yeah.
MotorServ, right? Do you still own it? What happened with it?
Yeah.
And what's the current status?
Okay. Well, MotorServ was, so my business started in car finance from 2005.
Mhm.
So straight fresh out of university, I started a car finance brokerage. So we used to finance cars, source vans, help fund assets, etc. So with all the banks, that kind of morphed. It kind of grew. It grew well, even through the recession. We had to make some changes, but I'm talking about 2008 recession where things got hit quite bad. And in 2010, 2011, we're doing a lot of property projects. I got into the cemeteries at that point, and that was on the asset funding kind of financing of the sites. And then we got the garage. I say we, as me and my team at that point, so there's like 4 of us at that point. We got the MotorServ garage in Monk's Path in 2013.
Right.
So we kind of expanded from our car finance sales. servicing
Finance is
to-
where you started first and
Yeah.
then shifted into like a repair center and like a car showroom.
It was an advancement of that offering, really. So
Right.
it's to, what else can we offer our clients? It's the next thing is servicing maintenance of the cars they bought. So we had a big client base already around Birmingham and Solihull, and then we opened up for obviously retail work. We opened in quite a big place. It was 10,000 square foot, the largest independent garage in Solihull from the outset. And obviously that grew with the number of ramps that we kind of put in over the years, and it went really well. Obviously the offering was received very well by the community in Solihull and Birmingham. The client base grew rapidly. We tried to be innovative and we tried to save our customers money
Mhm.
on everything. £15 MOT came about, which was the cheapest in the UK. Pads for life, Cambelt for life, all sorts of different initiatives and special prices on bolt-on products, and it went really well. It grew from 2013 to 2017, pretty much doubling year on year, turnover wise, and then the staff we just kept on picking up, and then more ramps, more staff. So that went really well.
So before I get into the hottest questions,
Yeah.
I'll ask you, why did you pick Solihull? Why
Okay.
Solihull in particular? Why not Hall Green? Why not Birmingham? Those Desi ends.
Yeah.
Why not those?
Yeah, okay, I get it. So I lived in Solihull. I'm born and bred in Solihull, so I know the area very well. And my father, when I was a kid, used to move around a lot in Solihull, so I've been
Right.
kind of pretty much every area of Solihull as well. Born in Cheshire Green, moved to Shirley, then moved to Solihull, then moved all around basically. So I know Solihull very well. I know I've got a lot of friends, I've got a lot of family members in Solihull. So primarily it was for convenience, but secondly it's because within the obviously motor market, one, finding premises was a massive challenge. Finding a commercial landlord for motor trade that'll accept a car garage or any kind of car trade is, it's a hard task in itself. I'd say less than 10% will even take a car garage. So we're very fortunate. Motorflat Business Park at the time, in 2013, was that they kind of refurbished the whole site.
Right.
Most of it was empty. I think it was 80% empty. So the landlord opened up all the planning permissions. He opened up all the different uses, so trade counters. There was a gym behind us. There was a hardware place, like Access Hardware. It was all stuff that was open to the public. Whereas before, it used to just be warehousing premises. So they opened it all up. So when we approached and said, can we open a car garage here? They said, yeah, why not? So we were like, brilliant. And it was, 10,000 square foot. We had, I think, 18 official parking spaces with overspill for about another 10, 15. So 30, 35 parking spaces.
Usually the landlords are very iffy to give places to repair centres or garages, because you can spill oils and stuff like in the leave an area.
Yeah, they have this in their mind. They have, rightfully so as well, because unfortunately people do that. But when they think of a car garage, they think of like body repairs.
Yeah.
Crashed cars sitting around, like looking very unsightly. So obviously when we explained what we do, what we wanted to do, which is going to be basically servicing, maintenance, repairs, so basically light work. We don't have cars smashed up, parked up around the back for weeks and weeks waiting for parts. Cars kind of come and go. And you have obviously longer jobs kind of sitting there, but most of them come and go. So they were absolutely fine with that. So when we kind of showed them pictures of what we wanted to produce and like the quality that we're going to work at, they were fine with it. So that was kind of the start in 2013. Right. So Solihull, just pure coincidence really.
Am I right to say in this, you chose this place not because you think there are more white people live over there, and you think, you'd wanted to avoid the desi areas, and you wanted to open up a garage in a place where you think there are actual spenders over there?
No, do you know what? In a way, you have to go in a demographic area where there are a lot of cars. And at the time, when we were doing our research, there was something like 197,000 cars registered in Solihull alone in the kind of council area. So there's a lot of cars. There's a lot of working professionals, middle class kind of clientele who've bought. That's why, because if you want to set up a garage somewhere, you set up with a garage where all the main dealers are. And if you look in our location in Monkspath, since we've been there, when we first started, it was like Porsche and that was BMW. And that obviously mini garage and the other bits attached to that. Since we've been there, Volkswagen, Volvo, Mazda, Maserati, Ferrari,
plenty of them now.
And then Audi was there next door. They've just built Jaguar Land Rover, built Aston Martin. They've built Land Rover down the road by McDonald's. They've put Honda in. Space has become car village. So, and the reason why they're there is because there's more cars registered in that area, and it is cleaner, like in terms of space. So you can get more space because the dealership requires quite a lot of space. You don't have those spaces in the mid-city areas. And like, look at all the car garages that were in Birmingham. So Volkswagen in Lawley Middleway, on Digbeth High Street. You had BMW in Jewellery Quarterside with a big Mini attached to it. They're all prime real estate, and they're all been basically closed because the rental rates are too high. The space is limited. They're landlocked all around, so they can't expand. And obviously, with all the manufacturers expanding their model ranges, they need more space. So they've all reduced the space around them by being in mid-city areas. So that's why they're all located in Solihull. And you get the inertia of all the other garages. So if all the staff are there, all the car, the service consultants, the sales guys, the sales women, all the sales admin people, if they're kind of used to working in that area, they just magnate towards it. There's a reason why they're all there. And if you look at different areas, they do the same.
So that raises another question then. So because you had so many other car garages near you, or I'll say dealerships and stuff, what about the competition then? Because you were an independent car garage, and you can't be dealing with or taking them as your competition. So how did you deal with that situation? Like, when you had like 10 of them open?
Well, there was a period of finding who we are and what we are. That question was asked of me, when I'm going to open up a car garage amongst us. It's like, what are you going to do? In terms of, obviously, you're going to fix cars, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, but where's your niche going to be? Like, what's your identity going to be? So it's kind of like, are you going to go Mercedes specialist? Are you going to go German car specialist? Are you going to, just do fast fit stuff? Like, who are you going to be? And he's like, that was a very good question. It took a while to kind of find our feet on that. But basically, our target customer was always someone that's, got a premium car, aged brand new to about 8 years old. And that was our kind of average customer. And those people that are buying from main dealers, again, they're kind of coming over to the main dealers to get the car serviced, to get the cars repaired. We're just a short drive away. So they kind of come to us an alternative because we're a main dealer alternative. So by being near the main dealers, we're not competing with them.
And what was the price difference?
Well, Porsche nowadays, the price difference is now even more, but the Porsche nowadays, you're looking at 150 plus labour rate. Even like BMW, Mercedes, you're looking at 125, 115, 110. So you're over 100 quid an hour labour. And other independents, so the smaller garages, like the kind of one up, one down, kind of small ramp locations, they're anywhere between 45 and 70 pound an hour. So we just went right in the middle. Right. So we were around about 90 pound an hour. So we're under the main dealers, but we're more premium than a normal independent, because it kind of had to be because of the overheads that we had, because we obviously got a main dealer setup, 16 ramps, 32 staff members, really high rent, really high rates. So we kind of couldn't afford to charge any less. So that £90 an hour or £95 an hour.
And were a customer comfortable paying that amount, or considering you're not a main dealer, right?
We never, to be honest, we never really had a pushback on it. Okay. It was, everyone kind of understood where we're at, because when they rang up for a quote, obviously they ring up for a quote for a service or a camber or a repair. If we weren't competitive, they simply just don't book in. And obviously we had over 80% conversion rate on all bookings.
That I've seen.
Yeah, so which you know all about. So we had over 80% conversion rate on booking calls. So we're obviously, the way that we kind of portrayed our brand and the marketing and everything else, it kind of showed where we sit in the market. So the calls that we did get, the conversion rates were very high because people knew. Yeah. So, and then obviously then the business grew and grew and grew.
So this £15 MOT, was that a marketing gimmick, marketing campaign, or what was it like? Was it because you don't really make profit in that?
No.
Or was that a way to bring customer in, charge them for £15 and upsell things?
No.
Okay.
So the £50 MOT, it came about because I've always taken advice, always had like marketing companies and business advisors and stuff. So when I built the place, so borrowed heavily, built all the stuff, got it all in, just the kit alone was 220k. So there's a lot of kit that went into the workshop, and then the build of the buildings, and then all the rooms and stuff, courtesy cars, signage, etc., all the stuff. So the setup cost is very high. But in a bit of a naive fashion, I thought you just build it, have all the resources, charge less than the main dealer, people will naturally just come. It will just grow quite organically. It will just grow quite nicely. And it didn't happen. So when we first opened, it was a bit of a slap in the face, because we opened up, had all these razzmatazz. We had a big opening. We had the mayor there. We had MPs there and stuff, and it was all good. But once that died down, once that went quiet, it was very difficult. Sometimes we had 2 cars in a day. So it's kind of like, right. And when we looked at like our customer profile and like, a customer's journey with a car, what's required, people are not everyone services their car, not everyone does the repairs when they're needed. So you can't really rely upon that. But the one thing you can rely upon is that everyone, statutory regulations, they need an MOT. So they have to have the MOT. So, and that's a painful process because it's forced upon everyone. So in our mind, basically the method, in the customer's mind would be, we're making that easy for everyone. So make it as affordable as possible, just to get them in the door. And then they'll see where we are. They'll like the staff, they'll book in nicely and like get the result. We had an over 80% pass rate. And with all businesses nowadays, it's very difficult, especially with B2C kind of business to consumer, direct to retail market. Everyone leaves reviews, everyone leaves comments on social media, everyone does this and that. The 80% that pass first time, they just walk away with a smile. And to get them to leave a positive review is always very challenging in any business. But all you hear from is the people that are complaining,
Yeah.
especially on social media, especially on like community groups.
Because they're
and discussion.
frustrated, so
They
they
get
want
angry.
they want
Yeah,
to
of
be the
course.
keyboard warriors. Then
That's
they
it.
want to take the aggression out.
Yeah,
Whereas with happy customers, they've got the service done. They're gonna probably come to you next year now, so they don't really care about you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it, exactly that. So, and you know, but their kind of happiness will be reflected in them repeating their booking and coming back next year, coming back for the service, breaks, whatever. So that was the whole remit. So when we actually calculated it in our initial, I think it was like a year's worth of trading, I was asked a question by our marketing consultant, you know, how much is each customer costing you? So basically, which is a simple maths, so how many customers have you had through the door? How much have you spent in advertising? Divide that by that, that's our cost per lead. And that's our cost per acquisition of customers, CPA. So that's what it's cost us to get everyone in. It's really high because we're spending a lot of money on advertising. So I think it was like, if I remember right, it was about £38 a customer, which is really high because obviously we're using Solihull News, we're using Facebook, we're using all the expensive advertising. So it was like, but at the end of the day, what I was trying to flog or what I was trying to sell as a service is it's nothing really special. We're a car garage. We repair your car, we service your car, we MOT your car, we do your brakes, we do your suspension. Yeah, if someone's driving from Birmingham, they're probably driving past 30 garages to come to us.
Yeah.
So why would they drive past 30 garages to come to us? If we're like 5% cheaper, they're not going to bother.
Yeah.
I wouldn't as a consumer. I wouldn't
That's
drive
like
that
your
far.
petrol money.
Exactly. You won't bother in the hassle of the traffic and then going and picking your car afterwards. They wouldn't. So we trialled it. I remember it well. It was Euro 2016 competition, the football competition. So we launched the £10 MOT for the Euro 2016 competition. Don't quote me on that. It might have been the World Cup. I'm not into football.
That's fine.
It was a football competition. The country was in positive spirits, but it was a football competition.
Which year was it?
16.
16. Okay.
So I think it was the Euros, if I remember right.
Probably.
Again, I'm not.
Could be a World Cup as well.
Exactly. One or the other, but it was a competition. It was a finite period of time. We put in £10 MOT. It went berserk. And the theory was you get more MOTs in. The ones that fail, like, we're below national average anyway, so 20%. Even if 5% of them get the work done, or 25% of them get the work done, or hopefully 50% of them get the work done on the fails, our turnover will pick up, the activity will pick up, and not just from the MOT itself. It's a bit of a slow game, but if you come in, like I said before, £15 MOT, £10 MOT, the amount of times you heard this comment, I lived in Monksbath for years, didn't know you were here. Like, literally, it's like, we've sent 40,000 leaflets out a month for the last 2 years. We've done so much media advertising locally. We're on Facebook everywhere. But nowadays, because obviously you're a marketing expert, this is what you do. The amount of marketing messages that we get daily. And the
brands are following you.
Yeah. The brain just filters them. It doesn't register. It could be right in your face. Yeah. And it doesn't register. Yeah. So we needed to kind of put out there something that everyone needs. So that £15 MOT became that thing.
So I came up with that consistent branding of red and white.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can see red and white. Okay, MOT £15.
£15, £15. Like on the, and you know what? It's, again, like I said, we're selling a generic service. Car servicing, car repairs, brakes. Nothing special really. Thousands of garages doing the same thing. So what do you put on a bus? What do you put on a roundabout? What do you put anywhere? If you put just MotorServ UK, car servicing, repairs,
people don't care about that
number. Everyone's got their mate Dave, everyone's got their Uncle Bob who fixes their car. So to pull them away from that, pull them away from traditions, because we're not creating a new market, we're not developing a new product. It's an existing service, so we have to steal that business from elsewhere. So either main dealer or another garage, or even before I had this garage, I had my garage where I took all our cars, where we took all our place. Like that was my go-to place. So we have to break that norm. So the £15 MOT created that break, and because we had the space, we had the volume capability. Because it was kind of like, right, if you offer £15 MOT, if the phone does go off the hook, you can't be turning down customers. Like, especially initially, you can't be going, oh, sorry, mate, we've only got one guy, Alan, he can only do 6 MOTs a day. So so 15. Pan
Because
MOT
potentially you
will just
got
get
one
spread.
ramp as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it is like you have to spend enough time on that
That's
particular
it.
car.
And it's not just a ramp, it's a parking.
Yeah.
MOT waiters.
Yeah.
You got to have the wait room, you got to have the wait space for the cars to be parked. So we had all that. So why could we do it? It's volume, capability and capacity. So we could book in. And at the height of it, we were doing 20 MOTs a day.
Yeah.
And we had 2 MOT testers as a twin lane. We had 4 MOT testers on site. So we had cover. Because when one person goes off sick, one person's on holiday. You can't just half your MOTs because the demand's coming through the door. And we're spending the money on the advertising for it. So we had to increase our volume, we had to increase the staff capability, the capacity, and we had to run it independently. And what it did, it just made the place really busy. Just drove load of traffic to us. So, and after year 1, year 2, year 3, the activity started increasing. So it worked a treat.
I mean, talking about that, what do you think from your experience, many years of experience, what is the role of marketing? How important that is for a business?
Number one, it's got to be, you can have the best product on the planet. Yeah, literally. But if no one knows about it, it's not positioned right. If it's at the wrong time, how many products have there been that have been ahead of their time?
Yeah.
And they've fallen on their ass.
Yeah.
Fallen flat on their face. Because they're too ahead of their time. There's no demand for it yet. There's no requirement for it yet. Everyone's happy with what they've got. And then this new product comes along. There's got to be a need for it.
Yeah.
And it's got to start. And usually, if there's a government influence, if there's a societal change on something, and then you slot right in there with a solution, boom. Whereas if you'd have come in a year before just because you thought it was a good idea, and the marketing positioning wrong, because if you get a product right at the right time, right situation, the amount of PR you get on it for free, because you're offering a solution to people's problems, the newspapers will be all over you. So the amount of free stuff you can get, like, so when we did the £15 MOT, going back to that example again, sorry, but when we did the £15 MOT, we had 3 or 4 front page spreads. We got in the trade press because it was unconventional. It was like, what's this guy doing? This guy's nuts. This guy's insane. And then I remember this photographer made me stand there, really cheesy. They always, and he's, that's not me. It's them making you do it. But I was standing there in front of the MOT bay with them doing an MOT in the background. I had to get 3 fivers like that. So they go, like £15 MOT. It's like, it's really cheesy, but it worked. And then that was plastered on all their stuff. And it's something different. It's being in the right,
So you tried all marketing channels, isn't it? Because I worked with you. You tried offline marketing, online marketing, your traditional way of marketing. In your opinion, for MotorServ, what did you think worked the most out of all these channels? Was it online? Was it traditional leafleting? What do you think? What worked the most?
Well, cost-wise, because obviously my background finance and accounting, so everything's on spreadsheets, everything's on there. I like it, but it's how my brain works. But when we used to put like marketing out there, it used to cost, I remember it well, 560 quid a week for Solihull News, half page spread, £560 a week. At a point where Solihull News was declining. I don't even think it exists anymore. I think it's just online. These are like physical papers going out to people's houses. Half a page, 560 quid a week. So like over £2,000 a month. It was costing. How many calls were we getting on it? When I used to just have one phone number. It must be doing something. Because the phone's ringing, we're busy. But
because I remember you had your all track numbers for everything.
So then I got introduced to track numbers to then measure how much each thing happens. And when we did we did the papers, the old traditional offline method, we're getting like 4 calls a week for 560 quid.
It's not worth it at all. So that means
at all.
That means your cost per lead is about what would you say? £500?
Yeah, exactly. It's like if it's £560 a week. And you're getting like 4 or 5 calls off it. It's 100 quid, isn't it?
Exactly.
So
if you times that by 4 in a month, that means £500, £400 a month.
And it's just great. So some people read the paper and they might not ring off it because that's the other thing that you have to say. But if you put a tracking number on it, then you know.
Yeah.
Because how many times did we do it? Where we had leaflets going out, and then we cease that leaflet or we cease that marketing activity, and then 6 months down the line, you're still getting hits on that call.
Yeah. We always have that,
Always had it, because you always have that trial.
Yeah.
Because someone might need, because we're obviously offering a service all year round for all people. People save it. People stick it on their fridge. I don't know what they do. They take a picture of it.
And then so that means you're saying that wasn't offline for sure.
No, it's all. Do you know what? Yeah, to answer the question briefly, online stuff. It became the norm. All the performance on Facebook, Instagram.
And then when did you
online
adapt
stuff.
to online marketing? Like, because you started off with leafleting.
Everything, yeah.
So when did you introduce online bits to your business?
We started off with Facebook, started off with social media from like day dot. But when we started measuring and we started seeing the cost per acquisition, cost per click, we realised that basically online is a lot more effective. There's more eyes online now.
And especially something you can track.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you can see, it costed this
click
lead
through rate
costed
and
you
this and that, yeah.
£5. Whereas with a leaflet, you can't really.
No, you can put tracking in the morning because obviously what you'll probably recall, but we actually found leaflets themselves going straight to people's doorsteps.
Yeah.
Actually works really well. And we used to get like, 25, 30 calls a week off the leaflets.
Yeah.
And so we just had it on standing order. So we used to have delivery people going out. We used to have the printing going straight to them going out. We used to have our people reporting if the leaflets arrived. So we had a pretty robust system.
Yeah.
And that worked really well. So leaflets for us worked really well. Papers didn't. But then to be honest, what we found was if you don't have anything specific to market, don't have like a irresistible offer, as they call it, or a hook.
Yeah.
Then you're just advertising crap.
Exactly.
Oh, we're a garage.
Exactly. Like that's what most of them are doing. Like
and then,
if you go to traditional garages.
Yeah. And no, it's not just garages, it's across a lot of markets, And it's like, we don't bother advertising, right? It doesn't do anything for us.
Exactly.
Of course it won't, because you're just advertising a generic. Like no one's going to drive across town to go to a specific, I don't anyway, because look at my hairdo, but barber, for example.
Yeah.
Or like this or that, unless they're offering something special. Unless they're like, the best in Birmingham, or like they, give you a free massage.
Like you have a USP basically. You know what you're selling. I get that. Now, you're talking about marketing, right? I want to jump into marketing was great. Repair center's great. Sales center was great. You were having enough revenue coming in. Excellent place, excellent location. What went wrong?
Well, I wouldn't say, it did go wrong, but I'd say what changed. Obviously, it's still there. Like service centre, like all the everything else is still in operation, so you can continue getting car service and everything else. But for me, it changed because the whole setup. I was on my own. I'm a business person on my own. I haven't got a private equity fund backing me. I haven't got a hugely wealthy family backing me or anything like that. So it's kind of been self-grown. I started off in a little room in Birmingham, just me. Employed a couple of my mates to start with, and then grew the business from there. And then it kind of turned into this operation. It was all, self-funded, but basically bank-funded. So from the start, all the stuff we built in Monks Bath, so we kind of built it up, and it works well. It works very well. So we paid all that off, and then we borrowed more to expand. We took next door, the expansion of sales. 2017, we started car sales heavy, so we went into it quite deep. Built that up really fast, so that grew like ridiculously fast again after social media exposure. So it just built rapidly off the back of that. So we had 8,000 people on Facebook. So just showing the cars, the actual exposure rate was quite high. And then obviously the conversion, everyone knew we sold cars. So they come to us and look at our websites for our cars, the videos Simon used to do.
Yeah.
Simon got famous, walk around Solihull, people recognise it. So it was good. So we were doing a lot of content, we were doing a lot of good, it used to be live a day.
Yeah.
It used to be like cars.
We started off with the poor quality videos to bad quality videos, and live a day to literally
you joined us, like you only
5 or 6 posts going out a day.
That's it. And then his podcast was really successful. We've had really good quality guests on it. And like, we've got a waiting list. This is the reason for this today, because we have to continue this because we've got so many people asking, and it's like it is completely separate to the business. Obviously, this is something that has become
something what people want to watch.
Yeah, that's it.
And especially the reason why I'm interviewing today, because people never heard your side of the story. You always asking questions from people.
That's it.
So I just thought maybe I'll ask you questions.
No, it's good.
Or straight questions. Sorry for my questions. My questions are very straight.
No, it's good.
So coming back to that.
Yeah.
You said nothing went wrong. Everything's working perfectly. Well, I do see, even if I go there today, I still see MotorServ there, right? They're operating. New owners, but they're doing a good job. Why did you leave the business?
Okay, so in 2000, obviously with the car sales growing, the car sales was the cost of cars, obviously as a product, you're talking tens of thousands of pounds. So we were like, we had 1.2 million pounds worth of stock.
Yeah.
On site and off site, we had to get additional resources to hold the stock. The insurance was through the roof, all the costs were through the roof. So when the cars were selling, it was all great, it was all rosy, everything was justifiable. With the interest rates rising, a lot of people don't know this, but the interest rates rose so fast. It's one of the fastest rises in history.
Yeah.
So they rose so fast that at the back end of Liz Truss, 2023, back end of COVID, back end of all that stuff, exit of Boris, and then Liz Truss, all scrambling for leadership. So the market was really strange. When the interest rates shot up massively, car sales literally is like
Is that because
exponentially
that
just
had an
dropped.
impact on customers
Finance.
getting finance?
Yeah, exactly.
Because an APR rate went up.
Yeah, at the end of the day, 80% of customers are on finance nowadays, which is, to be fair, in my opinion, is the right thing to do with cars because they're a depreciating asset. So your 80% of customers are on finance. Most customers are changing cars. And we know this. We know this as car sellers. You know this as marketing. We're selling on monthlies.
Yeah.
You're selling on the basis of this much deposit, this much a month. This is your kind of exit strategy at the end, your PCP, your HP, down to zero, like whatever it is. You exit, but then your next purchase is based on monthlies.
Yeah.
So you're either upgrading or you want the same payment. So you can't even have the same car because, I had customers like hand on heart. I had to tell them, keep the car. Because we had customers buying a car in 2020, 2021. The car was like, the finance was really cheap. You got it for like 7%, 7.25. And they're paying, £3,000 in on the Q7. That was valued at 32k. Paying like £500 a month, £450 a month. But then that chap came back to me, 2023, and said, I want to change that car because it's been a few years now. I want another Q7. I'm absolutely happy with the car. Instead of it being 32 grand now for that, a couple of year old example, it's 42k.
Oh, wow.
So you've already got a price increase because after COVID everything went a bit funny. You had a big gap in supply.
Yeah.
So prices are higher. Oh, I can't get you 7% anymore, or the banks are offering like 12%, 13%. Prime. So your finance is more expensive. The balloons are lower. So instead of paying for £480, £500, £520 for that car, you're paying £850.
Yeah.
And they're like, hang on a minute, I'm not going to buy. It's the same car in essence.
Yeah.
It's got different lights, got slightly updated dashboard. So I'm not going to pay pretty much double for that car. I was like, well, I wouldn't advise you to. I wouldn't actually say this is a good move. So the market, even without the advice, people know this. They can see the figures, they can see the rates, and they think, oh, hold fire, keep the car you got, or go for something cheaper. So, but most were just hold.
Yeah.
So, and then there's been a lot of anxiety around electric cars, hybrid cars. Yeah, I got messages on the weekend from my cousin in Australia because it's the same market worldwide, and she's asking me, she's got a GLC 200 to 220D. Should I buy a petrol or should I go for electric?
Yeah.
I'm like, look, it's a completely different market, but I know what you're going through. What are the price differentials? Same as her, same problem.
Yeah.
And she's a working professional, can afford it, but it's the anxiety around what's the right move, and no one knows because we don't know if this electric
is the world going towards electric. That's what
fully
we're
electric,
confused.
which in theory, or if you believe everything in the market, or as the government will tell you, it's everyone's going to go electric. It's going to be 100% conversion rate. Everyone's going to do it. Volvo a few weeks back have said that they're changing their plans for their electric rollout because there's no consumer demand.
Yeah.
So they can't physically just be selling electric cars. So they're delaying their full conversion to electric. Most manufacturers have done the same. So the consumer pickup of electrics have been a lot less. But with this ambiguity going on, with these interest rate rises, it's compound effects.
Yeah.
Sales has dropped off a cliff. For us, for all the other independents, for all the other main dealers, we had so many colleagues, so many friends operating businesses around the UK. A lot of them went out of business. First quarter 2024 went out of business because the way stock funding works, like corporate stock funding because all these cars are not cash. Everyone has stock funding, even the big main dealers. The way stock fundings work, they're limited time. and they take the money at the end of that period and you have to reload them. If you don't have the money to pay them off, they pull the cars.
Yeah.
If they pull all your stock and they turn up with trucks, guess what? You're out of business. Because your staff will do confidence from your staff to consummate, confidence from the consumers, the press, the stuff that follows, the social media posts. You're dead.
Yeah.
The brand's dead. Like, it's very difficult to recover from that. I don't know anyone that has. So you have to avoid that at all costs. And that's what we did. So we had to like make really difficult decisions. Thankfully, we had accountants, we had financial director, all kind of, on a consultancy basis, all helping us. And they said to us, if you keep going the way you're going, you won't be in business in quarter 2 2024 because it's going to swallow you whole. Because it's like literally hundreds of thousands of pounds that have to be found. So it's going to take a massive bite out of you. So unless you can either get a massive load of funding, you can get investment in, or unless you shut up shop on sales, pick one. And no one was investing in the motor trade. Kazoo just went bang and made most of the institutional investors very nervous about the motor trade. So there's no investment coming in. Lenders very, very reluctant to lend here because we tried. We did try alternative methods. Lenders weren't interested. And it's like, oh, it's not you, it's generally the motor trade. So, okay,
so you're saying car sales was the cause that affected your repair centre.
So that, because we were one business, the effect from that massive negativity, so we had to pay a lot of money to get our stock funding, to pay off stuff that we had. And, even it was very difficult. We didn't manage it. So the service centre was like, oh, it's great. The service centre is going, full guns. It's flying. It's growing every year. It's brilliant. And the theory was, if people aren't changing their car, they're going to be spending more money in repairs. And I believe 2024 started off in that sense. First 6 months of 2024.
We did see a spike.
Yeah, it was great. It was like, okay, this is going to be fine. We're going to push up service. The space that we're kind of vacating for sales, we're going to kind of take up with service because we're going to need more space. We'll get a couple more ramps in, more parking spaces and stuff, more MOT spaces. So we'll just increase. Then, second half of 2024, cost of living crisis bit. So everyone's electric went up, everyone's like mortgages were up, and it was kind of like starting to like eat away people's savings. So it started to really affect people. Then what we saw in the service side, volume was still there. People were still getting their cars MOT, still getting their car serviced, like on requirement. It was the additional stuff. Brakes, I leave it till next time. I've got a cheaper quote elsewhere. So all the stuff that you started off by saying, did it affect us being like premium mid-market? Before, no. Now, yes. People became very price sensitive. And because we're sitting on such a big overhead as a premises, as staff, and as the other thing, staff wages went up. The Jaguar Land Rover saw a mass exodus of Romanian and Polish workers during and after COVID, partly because of Brexit, partly because of COVID, partly because of the market. We had Romanian employees, they've gone back to Romania. So it happened a lot. They started sucking up all the technicians, all this kind of staff from around Birmingham and Solihull. Main dealers started to struggle. All the salaries shot up. So an MOT test, started demanding 30k upwards, 35, 38, 40k for an MOT tester. And here we are selling for £15. So suddenly the economics started changing. So now we're paying more for the staff. The staff are harder to come by. They're getting poached left, right and centre. So how many did we lose? We lost them to main dealers, and it wasn't them, it wasn't us. It's the fact that they get offered so much money. And we had to say, look, take it.
And they had a spoiled for choice.
Yeah, there were spoiled for choice. There's a period where there was spoiled for choice because there's a lot of stuff going on. So it's all these compound effects reduced the service down. But on the same side, everything's going up. Our electric bill, our gas bill, our water bill, like the staff costs. Then November 24, the HR price went up. National insurance stamp, everything went up. Then April again. 2025, massive hike again. So where we were paying, minimum wage went up so much, national insurance got up so much, staff costs were up, and really, I was actually in talks Q1 of this year and the back end of last year to take the business to the next level and to get private equity or VCs in and expand and to make it 3 branches, 5 branches, and just expand it out. And truthfully, when we're going through that process, I did get quite a bit of interest. I was in dialogue with a number of companies, and especially there was one particular company in London who you probably remember.
Yeah.
But the fact was, when they were asking me, hand on heart, will this recover? Will it go back up? Will everything be booming again?
I remember we also sat down, we all were clueless.
Yeah.
We had no idea.
Uncharted territory.
We're doing exactly the same what we were doing 6 months back.
Yeah.
And we just don't know what's happening.
I remember the cost per click on Google.
Exactly.
Because we did really well, like you talked about marketing before. PPC. We killed it on PPC. It was like the biggest increase in revenue for us, and cost per lead was really low. The actual quality of call was really high.
We were doing brilliant with SEO as well. We were
it was
ranking on
the website,
And then all of a sudden we have seen new businesses coming in. We started losing our position. Try to build that up. Whatever you search for MOT, we are there. You search for service in Birmingham or Audi service in Birmingham, Audi service in Solihull, we are there. But the customer is not there.
Yeah.
The click is not there.
Yeah.
So that was really affecting from a marketing perspective. So coming back to that, okay, the hit from sales, taking down repair center. So do you think the SOR model in sales, sale or return, is that a successful model? Or if you had a choice, would you have gone for another model which is like buying cars of customers and selling them? Or you think you would have still gone with the same business model?
To be honest, the way you build up your stock, because obviously we had a mix. We had a mix of part exchange, we had a mix of stock-funded vehicles, and we had a mix of sale return as well. So, clients' vehicles, whatever. So when the market slumps, it would have been exactly the same, but instead of the SORs becoming a problem, or the other ones becoming a problem, it would have been the stock funders taking you down. Like the other garages that we saw, like the other chain garages, the big companies that we've seen going down. And that's been because of the institutional funding. So we've had institutional funders, we would have not sold the cars in time, we would have hit massive roadblocks on basically have to pay back so much money before you can reload them. They're reducing balances as well, which is going across the market or de-risking. So it would have just hammered it anyway. And in reality, if we'd have had heavier stock funding and had our own vehicles or had cash cars, we'd have depleted all the cash now. Because remember, it went to we went from, I remember the last kind of 3 or 4 cars that we sold in 2023 going into 2024 were at 5 to 7k losses.
Yes.
Each unit.
Yes.
It wasn't that we bought them stupid, it's just that it took 6 months to sell. The prices were tanking. And I know people that have got 100 cars in stock and they were losing the same amount, 5 to 7k per unit. 100 cars, I'd say 6 grand average, 600 grand loss. And there's more than that because you've got your actual purchase costs, you've got the prep costs, you've got the staff costs. So you're losing £1 million, basically all in all. And your advertising costs, your
with some cars, we had to start trading in the cars as well because we had no customer interest in the cars.
We just got rid of them. Because it was cheaper for us to get rid of them now at a lower price than the actual book drop predictions that were coming. So it's kind of like, right, take what you can, cut that term, cut your losses. It was very applicable, and a lot of companies were doing the same. There was a lot of stock flying around, people trading stuff out, just trying to get out of it because the stock funding time was running out. There's all these bills coming in, as you get into the end of the plank very, very quickly. So I think we did better than a lot of people did in terms of the car sales department and surviving the exit. But we were very reliant on service, either maintaining it at the same level or continuing to grow, which is a pattern that we've seen and that we've got used to. But then when that tanked in 2024, and despite spending the same amount on Google, despite doing more on Facebook, despite doing all the different advertising, we started leafleting again, we started carding again, and we went back to, because it's kind of like getting back to basics. And that's what we were trying to do. Right, how did we build it up? We took all the advice, we spoke to everyone, like you were suggesting so much stuff. We did everything. And did it increase service?
Not really.
Sat there, basically, it was,
it was stable.
Down, but it wasn't doing that.
Exactly,
Like,
because it was also taking the hit from the sales as well. So
yeah,
once sales closed down, a lot of pressure came on repair center. So repair had to, center has to pick up their own on its own feet the staff we got in repair center,
yeah.
and then we had all the losses and stuff from there as well. So I think the blame has to go there.
Yeah,
In all honesty.
I say primarily sales is the problem,
Yeah.
but service.
We
even
thought
was-
service will improve.
Yeah, we assumed it
Yeah.
would improve because it always had, and it was that notion of if people aren't changing their cars, they're going to keep
Yeah.
the cars, they're going to be doing their cam belts, they're going to be doing the brakes, they're going to be doing this and that, but obviously they just weren't because they were just spending the same
Mm.
amount of money on it,
Mm.
so or less money, so it tanked.
Mm.
So when the combination, so if we hadn't got the sales whole, would service have survived?
Mm.
Yes, potentially, but ultimately the next stage, which was the cost increases, which was the
Yeah.
lack of staff, the massive what do you call them, streams of work going into not enough technicians,
Mm.
is causing all these bottlenecks.
Yeah.
That was the terms for bottlenecks. It's causing a lot of bottlenecks in the senior technicians.
Mm.
So big stuff was just getting stuck, just becoming a backlog. So when the backlog gets formed, you got loads of parts exerted on the cars. You're not invoicing them, and then you had the guys haven't taken prepayments for parts, special order parts. And it's just not good business.
I mean, your idea was right. So, for example, if repair center is struggling, it can rely on sales.
Yeah.
Sales center is struggling, rely on repair center.
So every garage
So
in the
basically,
business
both
does.
can work together.
That's it.
But the problem was, I think, the timing wasn't right for both of them.
One took a dive, then the other one started struggling, and it was like, oh my god, then the cost started going up.
Exactly.
So it's like a double whammy.
So, as we have discussed, and we have spoken till November.
Yeah.
What actually happened afterwards? I mean,
Okay.
what happened more towards the end of it now?
Okay. Well, obviously we had good accountants, we had good financial director, like we had everyone kind of around us. So the advice was restructure the businesses. So this doesn't happen again. So restructuring separate departments, consolidate everything. To be honest, it's the usual normal business practice. So when stuff isn't, we need to reconsolidate the debts, move stuff around, bring the staff into like different departments. So we did all that. We took top advice. Started the process off in November, concluded in February. Two separate businesses. So now we had like obviously the service centre, we had motor club. So we separate businesses, separate the manpower, the expenses, and then basically pushed on for marketing and everything else. I basically let's go for a refresh. Let's go harder. So that was the plan, and it started to work. As you recall, because towards the end of your time, the figures started picking up. The technicians started coming in.
Yeah.
The colleges started providing apprentices again because they started to suddenly have people in the colleges, which was great. And so we started picking up staff. The output started going up. We were just like, so it was quite optimistic. But then we got delivered a bit of a big kick in the stomach, and that was when we restructured. We're in mid-term of our lease. So we started in 2013 with all the expansion, with all the takeover of the new premises. They reset our leases in 2022. So we're actually there till 2032, which is like plenty of time to kind of get things back on the rails and sort everything out. So there was no real pressure from the landlord at that point. But the landlord did change in 22. So it went from a bank to a pension fund.
Right.
Weren't no names or anything because it's like a bit. But it went from a bank to a pension fund. The bank were relatively friendly. They wanted to just get tenancies in. They wanted, like I said, they got a gym in, they got us in, they got everyone. They just wanted to rent. They wanted to help the economy. They wanted to help businesses, promote entrepreneurism and all the rest of it. They were great. When it got taken over by the pension fund, they basically made it very clear, we don't really care. We just want the rent. We want minimum amount of movement. We want minimum amount of noise. We just want an easy life. We've got a lot of property. We've got something like 6 billion on account, or under management. So in the UK alone. So they've got a lot of property. We're not very significant to them. The site's not very significant to them. So they turn around, when we were doing our restructure, they previously agreed all this through the lawyers, and we'd already got all their notifications. So that's why we went through with it, because the first person who asks is the landlord when you're doing any movements. So the landlord had already given consent back in October, believe it or not. And when we restructured, we went back to them and said, right, we're done. We need all new leases done and everything else. And they said, what we're going to do, we're not going to do innovations. we're going to do 2 new leases for the buildings
Right.
from now for another 10 years. So that, in a way, is good news. So we're up to 2035, which is great. However, you've got to go on the new rates. 53% uplift on rent for the estate.
Wow.
And obviously, when you're working day to day, you're not really that involved in what goes on the estate, really, apart from like your customers, big people that you're kind of working with. And then when we kind of were like, that's ridiculous, we can't do that. That's literally horrendous. That pushes things past the line. They said, we don't care. It is what the rates are. This is what we want. And if you can't afford it, get out. Sling your hook. So it's like, what? And when we started talking to people on the estate, we found out the gym behind us had similar issues. There's been a number of tenants, again, I won't name names, but there's been another number of tenants that have left.
And I'm sure the gym was there for ages.
They were there same time as we were. I think they were 6 months a year before we were.
Yeah.
So, and they had a similar situation. So they had to leave suddenly. And, you know, I don't think they've got another premises. I don't think they've recovered. So, Access Hardware's gone recently. I suppose this is probably because people know they're not there anymore, but Access Hardware have gone. Summit Engineering have had to reduce down their units.
I think all the independent units are going.
All the independents.
All the groups, like, for example, GSF and them, they can afford it, isn't it?
Yeah, corporate.
Yeah.
But then that's when I went back to them and I said, what do we do? This isn't feasible for us. And I can't, as a responsible director, I can't sign that.
Yeah.
Because I can't increase the volume, because we can't increase the volume because the customer demand isn't there at the moment, because people are skinned. And the technicians aren't there. So I can't, knowing what I know right now and the experience we've had the last 2 years, we can't increase volume by that amount to cover that.
Yeah.
And we haven't got space. We suddenly run out of space. We have to do double the amount of cost.
Yeah.
So I just went back and said, we can't do it. It's like simple as that. I won't sign it. We won't sign a new agreement. We need a reduced rent. And he said, no. So that's the rent. Take it or leave it. And then we said, right, what do we do then? So, well, what would we prefer is PLC companies are more multi-director, multi-site limited companies with significant balance sheets. So I was like, okay, fine. So the choice for me was, we let the whole thing explode, shut down.
Get rid of all the staff.
Everyone loses their jobs. The whole place gets stripped out by liquidators and receivers. You know, every customer loses their place to come. All the customers that we built up, we've now become their norm. You know, we are the garage that they bring the car to. We're the garage that they come to. They're gone. And
I think the most strange thing was that you already had customers' cars in as well.
Yeah,
right. There's a lot of pending jobs.
30 cars in, a lot of pending jobs. And when we were going through this bit of a wobble with the landlord, at one point they said, we want the keys by the end of the week. And we had to literally ring every customer who had cars in. There was a bit of an upset, because obviously there's a lot of cars in. And we had to tell them, come and get your cars. Because landlord basically said, if those cars are still there, basically on Friday when you hand the keys back, everything within the premises has to go through the bailiffs then.
Oh, wow.
So we didn't want to leave customers in that position with a private vehicle. So we informed a number of customers to come and get their vehicles. And some did, some didn't. We left them outside. And then when obviously everything calmed down and they kind of saw a bit of sense, we brought the cars back in, obviously carried on the work and everything's been kind of sorted out. But it wasn't our choice. It was basically forced upon us. But then ultimately the choice was either explode it and just shut it down and just, do that.
Yeah.
There's no chance for me, all the stuff we discussed at the beginning about finding a suitable premises, the landlord will accept you, sufficient parking, plus the stuff that's in there, the amount of ramps, the electrics, the airflow systems, the MOT ramp, the license for the MOT, the premises, there's significant work on in there. It takes at least 6 months to set it up.
Yeah.
So to move premises, find another
it's not like you just pick something up from here, take it there, install it,
dump it in. Yeah. It's really long-winded. The customer fallout would be massive, because some people do come to us because we're in Monkspath. We're down the road. A lot of customers come to us for that. So if you do move to wherever, Tysley, Alton, Redditch, wherever there's industrial space, say if we did find the dream location, then we moved everything. The cost of all that, the stuff that you break, the stuff that you have to replace, the changes you have to make, the signage. You
can't do that in a week.
No, you can't do that in a week. It takes about a month, plus a month at least.
Yeah.
And then you've got to have a period of customer drop-off and then rebuilding the customer base in that new area. So it's going to cost 500,000
And then
quid
you're
to
paying
move.
your staff from your pocket.
Yeah, because you still have to carry on.
Exactly. You
employment.
can't just tell them, hold on, sit
Yeah.
at home for
Yeah,
1
yeah,
month and
that's
come
it.
back.
Because they'll just go elsewhere. So really difficult to move. You need a significant budget to do it. You got to plan it. You've got to get borrowing or do whatever you need to do. It's all too much of a rush. And it's almost like I've got to do the right thing here. So, and that right thing was basically look after the staff, look after the customers. So I went to the main dealership market, and it wasn't quite right because if we had a main dealer take over, they would just literally be doing their cars. So all the customers wouldn't have a base, and then the staff, to be fair, some of them may not be taken on by main dealer because you have to obviously be then retrained, and you have to do this.
Yeah.
After, so some might leave
You
anyway.
have their own SOPs and stuff.
Yeah, exactly that. So it was like most would, but some may not. So and it's a completely different culture, completely different working environment. So it wasn't fair to them to do that.
I mean, they can't just leave today and find a job tomorrow. Like,
No,
they'll
it'd
have a
take
gap in the
while,
middle.
it'd be a bit of upset. Yeah,
exactly. So, and everyone's really going through a tough time. Like,
yeah,
because when I used to talk to staffs, and everyone is like, you're having tough times, you need the money at the moment. I think the right decision you took was to, I'll step out, you guys be in a safe area.
Yeah.
Continue life however you want to continue. You'd get your salaries paid up. In fact, I think some people started getting raises as well.
They did. Yeah, because so basically I went to independent market when the main dealers weren't looking suitable or weren't looking interested even. So I went to the independent market. I knew 3 or 4 people obviously in the trade who have larger chains. They're already like 5-8 years ahead of us in the process. So they've got funding, they've got this, they've got multiple garages already. So I knew a few of them. Obviously, DAC Motor Group, bit on the apple. They came over, they had a look at the place. So I went through everything.
But they did it pretty quickly then.
Yeah, it was done within 2 weeks. It was a full takeover. So, and obviously it wasn't. It was basically stepping into the role, but then there was like a month handover. So because obviously there's millions of little different bits, and all the suppliers and cleaners, supplies,
your courtesy cars,
being returned, new ones coming, signage. They kind of I've been down this week to get a car looked at, surprisingly, and it was they've got like their new uniforms in position now. They've got like their invoices have changed. Like they kind of go through all the changes. Like
how does it feel How does it feel going back into MotorServ?
Do you know what? The amount of tension and the amount of stress that there was towards the end, it's been a bit of a relief. To be fair, it's like as a family, like for me personally, the kind of road we were going down, the stress levels that was, it's been a bit of a relief. But it's also, it gives me space to kind of sort everything out, tidy everything up as best as possible, and it gives the guys career progression, career trajectory. Because obviously some of them within the structure, DAC Motor Group have got a different structure. Yeah, they've got 7 garages, I think it is. They've got management team in position. They need different roles fulfilled. So people have been moved, people have had their roles changed, people have had pay rises, people have had their sales structures changed. People, they're all just different. So, but then they've got training. They've got all that kind of stuff. They've got even positions higher than the branch that they can get promoted to. Whereas we were kind of building as we go. So the staff members were kind of like progressing with us. So whereas they've already got the infrastructure where they could potentially progress to. So it's good. I'm pleased for they kept everyone. So a few people that left like a month or 2 before and stuff like that. That obviously that's up to them if they keep
left on their own will, isn't it?
Exactly. So it wasn't like we didn't lay anyone off. Basically, one day it was us, next day it was DAC, and the way they took over, so it's going to be called Synergy Auto Centres. And we've done as much as we can. We've all the phone numbers, website traffic, all the social media traffic that we could transferred over. So give them a good running start. And I think there's we're 2 months in now, 3 months in, and I think they're going okay.
I think that was the best decision you've taken, especially considering how well it's going to work out for them. Now, what is it for you?
Well, it was obviously built up from the ground up. Literally before it was MotorServ, built it from one office in Birmingham, like a little room, to what it became. And I think if the market conditions were right, things were right, and financing was right, it could have gone multiple branch. The market could have, we could have made a bigger impact on the market. But the timing wasn't right, the situation was right. It's better. Some people that are already ahead of us, it's better for them to absorb it and kind of carry it forward. So, from a business point of view, economics point of view, it's the best thing to do. But for me, it's been difficult. to absorb that, to kind of take that like.
Because
situation.
MotorServ was your life, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
you used to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning, stay till 3 a.m. in the morning. That was
sometimes.
like Monday to Friday.
Not every day, because obviously you got to die.
Monday to Friday. You used to spend as much. Whenever you used to speak to you, you were always there. So that means this is how close you were with MotorServ and how important it was for you. Considering that, now
Yeah.
that's all done, chapter close. What are you doing now?
Well, I'm
What
trying
are some new
to.
projects?
To be honest, in the UK right now, with the way the situations are in business, with costs, with everything else, I think bricks and mortar, retail businesses, and it's not just the motor industry. I think it's a lot of industries. There's been a lot of closures lately.
Online retail or physical?
Or bricks and mortar, I'm
Okay.
talking. So bricks and mortar, retail businesses, high street businesses, people stocking staff costs. I think it's extremely prohibitive right now for most industries to even operate, and it's very expensive to operate. So the lessons I've learned from MotorServ is, things can change. Things can change quite, in 10-year period, 12-year period, things change dramatically. COVID happened, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
We've had wars kicking off.
Mm.
We've had supply issues from with the Russia-Ukraine stuff. So car supply shut off for 2 years. Never thought that 10 years ago. If you wrote that, someone would think you're crazy. So things can change rapidly. Getting involved in something that deep, that financially deep, I'm wary now. I've learned a lesson. I was a bit more naive before. I was a bit more gung-ho, a bit more risk-taking. But because of my age now as well, I'm like 12 years older now. So I've got to be a little bit more cautious. But what I would say, I've learned a hell of a lot. There's just stuff on social media in itself, marketing in itself, like product launches, like different ways of spending things, PR. We've been on TV like 15 times and done that before. Would I have done stuff like this before? No.
Yeah.
So the amount of stuff that I've learned, the amount of stuff that I'm taking forward now, I think I'm better positioned for making the most out of things. And there's a few projects that have been offered to me, by people that I know, but by companies that I worked with in the past, who are quite interested in, taking use of that knowledge and information and trying to help build their brands and help build their businesses. So I'm probably going to take on a few projects like that in the future, that whenever something good lands, and kind of take things forward. But
So
tricky times.
all the best to you for that. And what about your property then? Property portfolio or property business? Are you still into that, or should we keep it low?
Again, because of the situation with MotorServ, because of all the stuff that was having to sort out for the back end of it, because obviously I took nothing out. There was nothing to take. I literally transferred it to the other company. Dave's taken it forward. I had a lot of overheads and stuff covered off with the deal. But apart from that, there's no money in it really. So the other creditors and other stuff that I've had, I have assigned a lot of the property that I held to kind of clear that. So, and in a way,
But
it's
you
a big
have
loss,
properties
yeah.
pre-MotorServ.
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, most of them.
So it's not that you made those properties from MotorServ.
No,
So
I wish I did. Yeah.
So those are pre-MotorServ. So
Yeah.
Are those gonna get a hit as well?
Most, yeah.
Okay.
Which is to be honest, they're fine, because, which I was about to say, the property market now is a different animal. And those historic buy-to-lets, those historic properties, interest rates have gone up, the tax situation's changed on them. So in real effect, this kind of cleanse is, I'm taking the positives from it, because they are a bit of an aged model now. So would I benefit from having them on my back? And notice I say having them on my back, and I don't say would I benefit in holding those assets. They're not assets anymore, they're liabilities. Like for me, especially apartments and stuff, service charges, ground rent, vacant periods in the property, high mortgage costs, high deposit requirements for properties, just to refinance them, just to do anything with them. Massive costs now. And do you ever get that back? Not unless there's capital growth on that property.
Exactly.
And then now with the taxation, now with the having to put me limited companies and stuff, it's changed. So in a way, by having that, the creditors kind of absorb them, it's actually beneficial from my perspective. And so when I do move forward, and I do sort stuff out, because obviously there's a number of stuff still to sort out. I'll be in a much cleaner position to do that.
Right. Okay, that's about properties. Now, how did your personal life got affected by this, or did it get affected, or how is your family coping up with how you used to be so busy with MotorServ? I'm not saying you're not busy. You are busy. You're in fact
Busy in
more
different
busy.
way. Yeah,
In fact, more busy.
Yeah.
How did they take all this?
A bit of a shock, to be honest, because my wife, obviously very close. She knows everything that's been going on. She's kind of seen it, and she's been kind of saying there needs to be an end to this, needs to be an exit to this, because it was getting worse and worse and worse progressively. And it really, when the last kind of hit to the knees came from the landlord, it was kind of like, this is the situation now. And even my wife said, you need to resolve this. Basically, this needs to, like, try not to obviously blow it up, but you need to figure it out. So when I went back to her and said, I've got this option on the table where I can hand it over, everyone keeps their jobs, everyone kind of continues on. Yeah, she's very supportive of it. So it's been a bit weird for my kids, because obviously they used to get involved in certain events and certain things.
They love cars.
They love cars anyway. They always will now, but they're all kind of a bit like, but they're quite. They're at that age where you can tell them anything. Like, we're not telling them anything, but you don't make stuff up. But like, when you tell them, they're very accepting of it. They haven't really formed opinions and not really formed a lot of stuff yet. So they're kind of like, oh, okay. And then when I said I wasn't, it was getting worse and worse and worse and this and that, and they've taken it as positive, which is great. So not been that, not been that upset by it or anything. But I think it's the way we position stuff. So the home hasn't been affected. Schooling and stuff hasn't really been affected. So they kind of carrying on with life as normal. And obviously there's been changes around things, but not so much. Try to keep it relatively stable, because obviously they're quite small still. And my extended family have been really supportive, and it's just been, they all think it's the best decision, really, ultimately, with all things considered. So not too bad.
Right. So where do they take their cars for repairs now? If no MotorServ?
Just still taking to MotorServ. Of course they do. Even I've been in. It's because, like I said, same ramp, same technician, same service levels, if not better. And there's a better setup now, so we've got better supplier accounts and stuff. So it's a better position really now, even towards the end with us. So it's fine.
Right, perfect. Thank you so much, Cam.
No, thank you for
and all the best to you for your future.
Thank you very much.
And we really see you growing. We really want to see 2 more MotorServ sites or something more than bigger on the other hand. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching today. That was it, and we just wanted to interview Cam to basically let you know what happened with MotorServ, and as well as what Cam is doing now. If you want to watch such kind of videos, I'm just going to let you know we are back now with even more better guests now. So stay tuned, and over to you, Cam.
So thanks, Syed. Thanks very much for coming down today. It's been really nice of you to take time out of your busy schedule now. So it's been good to talk through and to be in the hot seat for once, to actually ask questions about MotorServ. I've had a lot of messages, emails, phone calls about it all. So it's good to kind of get this out and inform everyone about the situation with MotorServ and kind of what happened and what's moving forward. So the podcast itself has become more of an independent business podcast. You probably, if you followed us, you've seen that it started off mostly to do with cars, but obviously it just morphed into more of a general business podcast, and we've had really good reception, got a good following base to it. So we've been asked by potential guests who were kind of on the waiting list already to continue going. So this is our new format. We'll be continuing on with exciting new guests. We've got bigger and bigger guests, as Syed said, and look forward to seeing all those guests, and we hope that you continue to follow this channel. Thank you very much.